Amazon is quietly turning on your settings even after you disable them. These are privacy settings that most people turn off and think they're good to go, but in updates these settings are turned back on and you need to go back in and disable them once again. In this video I'm going to go through all the settings, the privacy settings they need to look for, especially after an update. So of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash the notification bell. Let's jump into it. So before we jump into it, keep an eye out for these updates. There's a brand new update that's coming out 2026. This is going to be complete overhaul of the Fire TV Stick UI. This is going to make it look more fluid and even set to compete with a new Google TV UI. And before we jump into these settings, let me show you how to check for updates if you don't know how to do so. So first thing you're going to do to check for an update, you're going to go to your settings. You're going to go down to My Fire TV. Click on About, and then you're going to go down and check for updates. So you can see my last update check was yesterday. Let me check again. You can see that my Fire TV Stick is up to date. This is the second generation 4K Max. This is completely up to date, and this is the version right there. You can see Fire OS 8.1 and it shows the build number. Now that we have the updates out of the way, let's jump into the settings that you need to go and make sure they're turned off. So first thing we're going to do is head over to our settings. But let's head over to our privacy settings, and you're going to get to that by going over to your preferences. We do have parental controls in here, and parental controls gives you the option to restrict access to videos, purchasing. So if you have children, they're really quick to buy anything that's available, whether it's from Amazon Prime or whatever the case is. But if your kids are going to be using your Fire Stick, you want to go ahead and turn this on, and that will restrict how much damage they can do as far as purchasing and watching certain types of content. So if you turn it on, it is going to ask you to enter your PIN if you haven't already set one up, and it gives you a link. Following that URL, if you go to your Amazon page, you can see you have the option to reset your PIN. You see the options for purchase and restrictions. So scroll down, it has apply viewing restrictions to all supported devices, 3rd generation. So you have a lot of different options where you can go ahead and pick specific device that you want to go ahead and apply this for. Let me switch back over to the Fire Stick and we'll try the PIN and see what options we have. You can see that now you have PIN protected purchases, you have viewing restrictions, you have PIN protected app launches, PIN protected photos, and the option to change the PIN. So I think that's a real good feature. Like I said, if you have kids, they are going to tinker, they are going to purchase stuff, they are going to view stuff that you probably don't want them to view, so you can play with those settings. But if you go down to your privacy settings, let's go ahead and click on that. And this is where we're getting into the meats and bones of everything, guys. So first one is device data usage. So gives you a description to the side, tells you that use personal data collected by the operating system of this device for marketing and product improvement purposes. So if you're a really good person and just want to help Amazon by giving personal information, by all means leave that on. But for me, I know I'm going to turn that off. All right, so it gives you a breakdown. Like I said, completely up to you. For me, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Next one is collect app usage data. So allow the App Store to collect information on frequency and duration of use of downloaded applications. So this is another thing where they're gathering data that seems useless to us, but I'm sure they're using it to sell more products or to benefit, make their pockets fatter. For me, I don't see the benefit for me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off as well. Do have interest-based ads. Once again, this is going to be a personal preference. Description says allow apps on the device to use your advertising ID to show interest-based ads that display products and services that might be of interest to you. Again, if you like seeing those ads and recommendations, by all means leave that on. For me, again, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So when you turn it off, you notice that the advertising ID, that option disappear. Every device has a unique advertising ID, and I'll go ahead and I'll blur that out. But it tells you an advertising ID is a user resettable unique random identifier we make available to apps on certain devices for advertising purposes. When you reset your advertising ID, you create a new advertising ID. So whatever the case is, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And now it disappears. Let's go back. Next one is going to be data monitoring. And this one, I do see the use behind this one. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so you can see the settings. So what this does, guys, if you have internet that you either have a cap or you're just curious to see how much data you're using, this can actually come in handy. So when you turn it on, you do have the option to set your video. If you set it to best quality, of course it's going to use more data, but you can go all the way to good, better, or whatever you prefer. Of course, good is going to be less data than best. So completely up to you. Like I said, this makes sense if you have a cap on whatever data you're using. We do have the option to set an alert, so maybe you only want to use 2 gigs for streaming or something like that. You can set that. When you select it, you can see you have the option that tells you that set data limit in gigabytes, your Fire TV Stick Lite. So you can go ahead and set that up. Monthly top data usage. So reports data consumption used by apps for the current billing cycle, a month specified in the data alert system. So again, just basically setting it up to let you know what data you use and which apps are using it. And you do have the option to set an alert where you go over. For me, I have unlimited internet. I don't worry about this, but I think this can be of use to some people. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. A notification settings. So this is another good one. So I have mine turned off. It says do not interrupt. So turn on to hide all application notifications. So I have mine turned off, which allows application notifications and pop-ups. Like I said, for some people might want to see notifications for certain applications. I'm going to go ahead and turn mine on, and now it should block those pop-ups. Another one is app notifications. Let's go ahead and click on that. So we can go in individually and turn on or turn off notifications on each individual application. So maybe you don't want to turn off all of them. You can go into individual applications. Featured content. So manage video and audio in the featured content area on your home screen. So if you guys ever get annoyed by this right here, when you go home and you go up a little bit and then this will start playing and you have the audio just going crazy, that's exactly what the setting is. So let's go back and we'll go ahead and turn that off. So let's go back in. I'm going to turn mine off. Maybe some people actually like that, but I sure don't. So when you click on it, it gives you the option to allow video to autoplay. So I'm going to turn off the video, and you also have the option to allow audio to autoplay. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off as well. Sync recent content. So include Prime Video titles, watch and other devices. So for this, I find this useful. Maybe you're watching a Prime Video on this Fire Stick and you go downstairs to the Fire TV Cube or something you want to pick up. That's what that will do. So I would recommend leaving that on, unless really you only have one device, then it doesn't make sense. And like I said, this is a Fire Stick is a game of balancing. The more stuff you turn off, the less stuff your Fire Stick has to worry about, thus the faster it should run. Next, let's go ahead and we'll just check out my Fire TV. Developer options. So click on developer options. You have 2 options. You have ADB debugging, and you also have install unknown applications. Now, ABD debugging is one of those settings that you either want to leave it off, or if you have it on, you kind of want to know what you're doing. So ADB debugging essentially is a pathway for malicious stuff to get into your Fire TV Stick. So unless you have an application specifically that uses it, like mouse toggle for instance, you might want to go ahead and just turn it off. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I don't think I have mouse toggle on here. I'm sure there's some other applications that uses it, but normally those apps will tell you specifically to turn off that setting. So just wrapping up, guys, these are settings that I definitely recommend at least taking a look at. Might not have the same preferences that I do, but it's worth taking a look in my opinion. So if this video helped you, hit the thumbs up, share this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching again, and I'll catch you on the next one.